April 24, 1934. San Jose News, San Jose, California. Dead dog restored to life by young scientist. Dog is watched for experiment success. Berkeley, California, April 24, UP. A fox terrier dog killed by nitrogen 11 days ago and revived by Dr. Robert Cornish, University of California research scientist, kicked off his blankets at noon today to send a thrill of excitement through the tiny laboratory where experiments are being conducted in revival after death. Dr. Cornish and his staff of young scientists were unable to say if the kicking was a sign of returning consciousness or the start of a second death. Berkeley, April 24, UP. A small black and white dog partially revived from apparent death by a young experimenter today held the key to discoveries which may solve science's ageless search for a means of restoring life. Success of the experiment of Dr. Robert Cornish, 28-year-old University of California graduate, depended upon the return to full consciousness of Lazarus 4, the fox terrier he restored to partial consciousness after asphyxiation with nitrogen 11 days ago. Locked in a barn-like laboratory on the college campus, Cornish watched patiently and hoped as the dog fought its way back to a normal state. The pale-faced young scientist rejoiced as breathing resumed, the heart again began beating, and vision returned. The dog responded to ordinary reflexes, sought to brush a fly off its body, and accepted food. Believing he was on the threshold of a tremendous discovery in his challenge to death, Dr. Cornish strove to restore the dog to complete normalcy. Then, and only then, will he be ready to try on human beings his method of resuscitation for persons killed by drowning, electrocution, shock, or by other violent means. Lessons learned from similar experiments on 2 dogs, which lived only a few hours after being revived, guided Cornish and his aides in the latest attempt to solve the mystery of death. Lazarus 4 was put to death on Friday, April 13, by asphyxiation. When the heart had been still for 4 minutes, artificial respiration by the teeterboard method was applied. An injection developed by Dr. Cornish was shot into the femoral artery. The solution included fibrinated blood from another dog, heparin to prevent coagulation, a salt mixture, and epinephrine, a heart stimulant. Within 30 seconds, the heartbeat resumed, breathing commenced. The dog was comatose and weak, but alive. March 13, 1947. San Jose Evening News, San Jose, California. McMonigle offers body for tests. Berkeley, March 13, AP. A condemned convict today offered his body to science for an attempt at the restoration of life into a corpse. Thomas H. McMonigle, 37, convicted slayer of 1 girl and confessed killer of another, is in San Quentin prison awaiting execution. Dr. Robert Cornish, 42, Berkeley scientist who has done some notable work in revivification experiments with animals, said McMonigle made the dramatic proposal after reading in the Oakland Tribune of plans underway to bring dead dogs back to life. No date has yet been set for the execution of McMonigle, convicted of kidnapping and slaying 15-year-old Thora Chamberlain of San Jose. The scientist said that McMonigle hopes to be brought back from death and expressed belief that, in any event, the experiments on his body might benefit humanity. He is aware, Cornish said, that in the event the experiment is successful, he probably still would have to remain in prison. If the experiment fails, McMonigle asked Cornish to give his eyes to blind Patsy Ruth Fergus of Los Angeles, who has been prevented from attending school because Board of Education regulations won't permit her guide dog to attend with her. McMonigle wants me to try to bring him back to life after his execution, in the interest of science, Dr. Cornish told a reporter. He made the offer, he said, in the interests of the thousands who die permanently from drowning, shock, or asphyxiation. Dr. Cornish interviewed McMonigle in his prison cell on Tuesday, then wrote Governor Earl Warren a request for permission to conduct the revivification experiment within San Quentin's walls. March 14, 1947, Painesville Telegraph, Painesville, Ohio. Warden refuses plea to attempt slayer's revival. San Quentin, California, March 14. Warden Clinton Duffy refused today to permit a scientist to attempt to bring a condemned murderer back to life after his execution. The scientist, Dr. Robert Cornish, already has revived dead dogs. He said Russian scientists reportedly had tried experiments reviving dead persons, and that he thought he could succeed in resurrecting the condemned murderer, Thomas H. McMonigle, 36, of Cottage Hill, Illinois. Cornish said that McMonigle told him he was offering his body for the experiment in the interests of humanity. Even if the Lazarus-like resurrection succeeded, it would not mean freedom for McMonigle, Cornish said, since he has confessed a second murder for which he has not been tried. But Warden Duffy said flatly that he would allow no experiments at the prison. Either the next of kin will claim McMonigle's body or he will be buried in the prison cemetery, Duffy said. McMonigle is awaiting execution for the murder of Thora Chamberlain, 15, Campbell, California, high school girl, last year. No date has been set. He has confessed also to the murder of a waitress.